Good afternoon, everybody. Hi, Chuck's away. Brian, Carl, how are we all this afternoon? Just getting some trains going here. As you can see, since I spoke to you on Monday, I've done absolutely nothing out here. I had to do some real work for the railway. So I was doing a lot of paperwork over the weekend, doing family time. So I haven't been out here doing much. So we'll get some trains running here now. What I did find is some wheels, which I'm going to swap out on a few of the coaches here. Once I get them going, I'll show you where they're rising up over the double slips. And then we'll swap out the wheels and see if that makes any difference. Sorry, Chucks. Hi, the Irish Train Guy. How are you doing? Have you been out doing any spotting recently? There we go. Just have to put a wire up out of the way. I was doing some bits and pieces a couple of days ago in here, and I've pulled some of the wires out underneath, so I need to get back in under there and resolder them. The Harry Potter one going as well on the lower level. You got stopped and asked for permission to record. Where was that? Hi, Oliver. Chuck, so you're Christopher, right? I'll try to remember that, but I am terrible for remember people's names. Oh, excuse me. I'm trying not to sneeze into the mic. I just disturbed a load of dust in here. Oh, Christopher, you've changed your name again. Yeah, I did see that, actually. Will you stop doing that, Christopher? I can't keep up. Oh, thank you, Brian. Yeah, I came out here this morning and I discovered the shed door was open. So I'm wondering, did the cat sneak in here last night? Because I do have a bit of an allergy to cats. So it could be the dust or it could be cat hair. Right, everything's running. So I'll put this out to you guys. Seen Christopher's been changing his name. Originally, when I started this channel, it was going to be sort of a blogging channel, days out, that sort of thing. But then lockdown hit and I thought, right, okay, I'm going to concentrate on the railways. I've got time now to do my model railways. So I need to change the channel name now to something more Donegal and train related. So suggestions on a postcard, please. Right, I'm setting up another camera here to use as a roving camera. So we'll add that to the stream. So camera 2 is the roving camera. So I'll take that in and out. I'm going to put it over here by the double slips. And you'll see when the 66 comes past, the first 2 coaches behind it, it's coming now, you'll see them rise up when going over the double slip. So here it comes now into shot. You see the way they're bumping around? So I'm going to pull one of those coaches off, put some metal wheels on it, and see what a difference makes. Donegal Railway World or Donegal World of Rail. Yeah. Hi, Karen. Hi, Keith. How you doing today? Hope you're all good this afternoon, or whatever time of day it is, wherever you guys are. Right, I'll take that camera down now because you're just looking at the mess of my train room. So we'll stop that train. I'll have to let it go around, and then I will stop it, take off the carriage. And what I'll do is I'll run it over by hand so you can see it a bit closer, and then we'll see if we can swap some of the wheels out. So it's not only the double slip, it's any point work it goes over. Of course, because it's plastic wheels, you can't adjust the back-to-back on them. I still have to make myself an uncoupling hook. I do have one somewhere, but where it is. So I will move the Donegal Dad camera over because that will probably give a better image. So if we run that through the point, you can see, that there, how it's lifting up? So these are just the metal rims, but plastic axles. So you can't adjust the back-to-back. Well, actually, they're not metal rims. They're just painted to look metal. Hi, Pete. Yeah, I think we've all done that. Kieran shouting at our layouts. Well, I tend to swear a little up. Let me know how the picture's coming through, guys. I might have to cut one or two of the cameras out if it's getting a bit too blocky or the quality isn't good. So, got one set metal wheels here. It's enough to do one coach. Find my back-to-back gauge. I really do need to get out here and have a tidy because everything is gone. Into a mess when I started doing the mountainside. So back-to-back gauge. And slot it in here just to make sure they are the right gauge. And you can see the flanges are a lot finer on the one on the right as opposed to the one on the left. My hand there, try and get it to focus. So that should solve the issue on this one coach. So we'll pop those in and then I'll check the back-to-back once they're in. Oh yes, I know these aren't the right wheels, they're spoked for the carriage, but this is just a test, just to see. I did ask on Monday on the stream if anyone had ever used the ones that you can get on Wish and AliExpress, if they were any good. You know, for what they are quite expensive wheels if you try and get Bachmann or Hornby ones. Do the back-to-backs. So that's back-to-backs done. Hi, Gillette Murphy. How you doing? Good to see you here. Yeah, Wish is questionable, shall we say. I have bought some light stuff there, and in fact, I had some arrive yesterday. Right, if we look at that now, if I swing the camera around, you can see now it glides over there lovely. No jumping, no derailing, nothing. As opposed to, so 56 goes through. Yeah, I woke up this morning and realized I reached 700 subs, and I was like, wow. You can even hear that. So this is the carriage with the old plastic wheels, and you can see how it doesn't like the double slip. It doesn't derail, but it's only a matter of time before it does. And the same coach, but with the metal wheels. Lovely and smooth. So I think I'm going to have to put that on my birthday wish. It's all code 100 track because I got some older locomotives and rolling stock. But it seems particularly with the points and these double slips that they are having problems. Thanks, Kieran. Yes, I was chuffed when I reached 500 subs. Well, I was chuffed when I reached 100 subs. Oh, I didn't like that. Let's put that on now. Yeah, I try and get out of the habit of using the hand of God and do everything, dare I say it, prototypically. But who's got time for that? Now you can see the Mark III coaches, they've got the same wheels, but they go over no bother. Obviously the flanges are a bit thinner, so we'll let that go around. Oh, Lone Wolf pop in as well. I didn't see him. Hi, Lone Wolf. The last two talks I've given, the Swilly talk a couple of weeks ago, and they're the talk on Sunday, part of the 24-hour event. I picked up a lot of subs. I'm going to be finishing the daily live streams now this week because everything's starting to go back to normal here, and I need to get work's been on to me to get things ready to go. So as well as that, the museum is getting ready to go as well. So I'll be doing a lot of work. So I won't have time for the daily live streams anymore. So the last one will be on Friday. But I was thinking I might do a weekly live stream on Thursday evenings around 7:30 to 8:30, because there doesn't seem to be anybody in that slot. Tim usually goes at 8:30. Jenny's on Monday, although I'm nowhere near Jenny's standard. You have Jason in on Tuesday. Ollie usually goes Wednesday. Double O'Neill Tris goes Wednesdays as well, usually. So I thought, well, there's a little slot there at 7:30, 8:30. I'll pop up there for an hour, either be running trains or doing some work on the layout, or if anybody requests anything to be shown on a live stream that they can ask questions on, I'll try and do that. Occasionally, I might be from the museum working on the layouts in the museum. Definitely as we get into the summer and it gets warmer, I don't have to have about 15 layers on in the museum to try and keep warm. Yeah, that's the thing you probably didn't pick up on when I was doing the live stream in the museum, is the shivering. So who's been eating too many Easter eggs? Right. And we can see the 66 coming through there. And see how there's no hopping around anymore. There has been talk about that for years. It's something that's badly needed in Ireland. Say if you look up the map, the rail map of Ireland, you'll see a big blank space in the northwest. You know, it's an unfortunate part of our geography up here in the northwest, sharing our border with Northern Ireland, and the real anti-rail government that was in the 50s and 60s in the north. You know, we're left totally disconnected up here. But there are talks to extend maybe the Derry line into Letterkenny and eventually extend it on down through Donegal town, down to Ballyshannon, Bundoran, and on to Sligo, and then rebuild the section that's already there. Any of the Irish viewers on here, did anybody see that thing with Enda Kenny that was on, was it Sunday night, Monday night? Erin Road Kenny or Erin Road Enda, whatever it was. I didn't actually see it. I'll have to watch it on catch up. Is anybody, was it any good? So I believe in episode 4 of that, he's going to be looking at the Swilly Railway in Donegal. Because we had the production company that were in touch with us, getting information and pictures and that off us. Most of Ireland's railways are single track. The only double track is from Belfast down to Dublin and Dublin to Cork. Everything else is single line working. I mean, at the moment, would they need anything more than single line for the rest of the country? Probably not. You know, when I have people in the museum, I say to them, when you look at what we had in Ireland over 60 years ago, we had a proper integrated transport system. The buses and everything fed to the train stations, and then the trains took you onwards. The freight all came into the train stations by smaller lorries, loaded up and sent elsewhere. And then they decided, no, the roads are more convenient, even though they were in a terrible state and half of them weren't built properly, to put everything on the road. So, and then it went from, instead of feeding into the stations, they were running alongside and competing with the trains. And it's not as if the buses are any quicker than a train to get somewhere, because the buses all stop in these little towns, the same as a train would stop. You know, the train doesn't get held up in traffic or road accidents, or, you know, isn't as limited by snow and ice. If I was in charge, would I have closed any railway lines? Look, there were some railway lines that were not required, that didn't make any sense. They were just built at the time because they got grants from the government to do it, and that paid for it, and they were never going to be economical. But you need to look at the bigger picture, have, as I say, an integrated transport system. So you have the freight, the passengers feeding into the train stations, and then the trains taking them on further. You know, which is when the trains first arrived, which is what you had. You know, a bus can take a maximum of 60, maybe 70 people, some of the bigger buses. I mean, that's just one carriage on a train. I mean, I think like we have the standard sort of international container now, which are the same size throughout the world. That only came in, I think it came in the 60s after the railways had actually closed. If that had been in before, then moving freight would have been a lot easier. You know, I've seen some of the video footage where, you know, everything is getting off the ship onto the railways. It's all labor intensive. It's all bags of this, boxes. The same was putting it on the trains. Hi, Stuart. How you doing? Yeah, but a lot of people are just going to say I'm biased towards railways, which, yeah, I suppose I am. I mean, I grew up here in Donegal. When I was born, the trains had been gone for almost 20 years. And yet I still have a fascination with railways and trains. If you're building railway lines, or even roads for that matter, to see if it's economically viable, then you would never build any. If you build the railways, the industry follows behind it, because if there's good connections, then you will have the businesses turn up behind it. Now, Donegal, when we had the railways, we exported tweed, agricultural goods, fish, everything went out by the railways. Now, Killybegs in Donegal is still one of the biggest fishing ports in Ireland, and most of its fish is now processed in big factories there and disappears by lorries. Our agriculture took a hit. Our tweed making industry took a bit of a hit, like McGee's in town here. There was loads of independent weavers and that through the county. All that was exported. But it's not just Donegal when the railways closed, because it hit the whole northwest. And you have a town like Strabane, which is in Northern Ireland, massive railway town, big interchange for the Donegal Railway, major freight hub. And when that closed in '65, it decimated the town. And the town never really recovered. It constantly, every year in the UK, it came up as one of the most deprived areas in the UK, one of the worst for unemployment, because there was no road infrastructure there to replace the railways. And And like the railways disappeared before the trouble started. I mean, the trouble certainly didn't help things. But without that infrastructure there, it doesn't encourage business to go anywhere. They're like, well, if I go there and set up a factory, how am I going to get my goods out? And I know everyone's saying, well, you got the internet now, everything's online, but you still have to make stuff. And if you make stuff, you still have to transport it. And even if everybody's working at home, they still want goods. They still want their Amazon deliveries, that sort of thing. You still have to transport stuff around. And if we're getting to the stage where oil is running out and they want to get rid of combustion engines, how are we going to get goods around? You know, electric cars have a range of about 60 to 100 miles maybe at the moment, and the technology is improving. But how far can an electric lorry go, and what sort of load can it take? Anyway, enough of being on the soapbox. Oh, I'll show you these lights I got from Wish. I haven't actually taken them out of the bags to look at them yet. So I got these. Camera. You see that? Okay. Actually, I'll use this camera. So I got those. So that's those double ones. And then I picked up about 30 of these, which I've got before. And you would have seen them on the 6x4 layout in the museum. And those ones there, they're actually quite nice. They're 3 volt. So I'll put a resistor on them and hook them up to the 12 volt bus. And away they go. But I won't be putting them in for a while because I have to build the station. I'm going to put them on the station platforms. Yeah, all the lines would need to be electrified in Ireland, but they're going to need to be electrified wherever trains run in the world. Yeah, Downpatrick, is that where you're from, Oliver? Is that, I need to get over there and have a look at that. It's been on my to-do list for a while now, trying to find time to get over there. But of course, we all know what happened in the last year. Everything went out the window. Because I'm up in, I go up to Whitehead quite a bit, because obviously Drumbo is up there being restored. Well, and I haven't been up there for a year. And Cultra, I like going to Cultra and seeing the stuff. Is that the one? Was it Andrew put that up? He was out with the 37. That wasn't a heritage line, was it? That was the main line, wasn't it, Pete? And I know the heritage in Downpatrick has had a lot of trouble with vandals and that. They've had a sign stolen. They've had. They're actually finding some people, kids, being posted on TikTok of them on the railway line. Well, yeah, I have to say to people, if you look at the 1906 rail map of Ireland, Google it, you can see the extent of railways we have, and then look at the more modern map. But there was, regarding transport, and I think it's probably the same in the UK when I lived there, there was no joined up thinking when it comes to transport. I think if they were reopening lines here, it would have to be 5'3", so anything could run on it. So then you can have a through train from Dublin or Belfast or Galway or wherever straight up to Donegal. As you know, if you had the lines renewed in Donegal, then you could get a train up along the west coast from Limerick, Galway, all the way up to Donegal. You could get a train up from Dublin to Donegal. You could get a train from Belfast to Donegal. And they're, you know, the bigger urban centres are then connected to Donegal. Hi, President. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're well. Yeah, well, one of my fellow board members, she remembers she used to get the school to train, get the train to school when it was running. You know, they used to get the train to Mass on a Sunday morning. You know, and she remembers the big loss of when they actually closed. You know, there was, yes, buses replaced them, but eventually the buses disappeared. A Wild Atlantic Way train line. Yeah, that would be nice. I mean, there are some nice train lines in Ireland that are still operating, like the one from Dublin down to Rosslare, where it goes along Bray, along there and Wicklow. That's very nice. You have the section from on the Belfast to Derry line where it goes along the north coast. That's really nice. You know, and like a lot of the Donegal Railway, when it's existent, it went through a lot of very scenic areas. Like where I live outside Donegal town in Barnesmore Gap, it is beautiful out here. It looks even better when the sun's shining. Yeah, if I walk on any of the old railway lines, the old Donegal lines, that you'll always pick up spikes. You'll always pick up the track pins. For whatever reason, they didn't seem to collect them when they were taken. They just discarded them and just took the rails and the sleepers. You do come across the odd sleeper every now and again, just lead in the ground rotting. But we do want to get a decent section of heritage line restored. You know, we have the station house. We have a lovely museum in there. We have lots of artifacts. Like I only showed a fraction of that on Sunday night. We have more to do, but it's just it takes a lot of people, energy, and knowing the right people to do anything. Paperwork involved is immense, and sometimes you get bogged down with the paperwork. Like as chairman of the board of trustees, my signature is on so many pieces of paper, and just, what am I signing? What am I just making myself responsible for? Yeah, when you go onto Google Earth and look at the satellite images, excuse me, you can still trace the old railway lines. For whatever reason, the railway lines around here, beech trees grew up along them. So you can actually, if you find a line of trees, that is actually the railway line. Yeah, I've taken that train a few times, Oliver. It is very, very nice. You know, you just sort of, you're trudging along, and all of a sudden you pop out of a tunnel and you're right along the coast, but right along the beach. It is really, really nice. Because I used to fly out of Belfast International, and so sometimes what I would do is I would actually get the train from Antrim station to Derry and get picked up in Derry, just as an excuse to go on the train, see the scenery. Yeah, I think it's because they get left. Now, when the Donegal Railways closed, they sold a lot of the land off immediately, and a lot of farmers bought the land and they never registered it. So it's still showing on the land registry as being registered to Donegal Railways or to CIE, because as soon as the railways closed, the County Donegal Railway carried on to 1972 using buses, when eventually it was absorbed into CIE, which is at the time, the National Transport Company. So any assets they had then became property of CIE. So you will see long stretches of land belong to CIE, and a lot of time this comes up when they're building new roads. You will see that landowners, the list of landowners, and CIE is one of them. Yeah, Portrush is the train. I've been up there a few times. Okay, Oliver, catch you again. Yeah, so the track beds that were left to their own devices, they seemed to grow trees, which was great for our native red squirrel, because it gave them an alleyway, a roadway to travel through the country. And as well as that, beech trees are the nuts nut gives them plenty of food. So we've actually have around my house here, I have a couple of red squirrels I see every now and again. They're very shy creatures, but I do spot them every now and again, especially this time of year when there isn't the trees aren't in full leaf yet. When was the last line built in Ireland? Well, that's a good question. Well, you could say they're still building them if you count the Lewis, which is there's a thing, and ripped up all the trams in Dublin years ago, and now they're spending a fortune putting them back in again. Well, the last Donegal line to be built was the Strabane to Letterkenny, which is 1909. You know, I would say there wasn't many lines built after that, because they were all started closing them down in the 50s. That's an interesting question. Let's see if I can find an answer to that. Yeah, squirrels are very clever animals. The grey squirrel was imported into Ireland, the American squirrel, and it was endangering the red squirrels. But the balance seems to be getting restored recently, because now there's some disease going about that affects the grey squirrels, but not the red ones. So the grey squirrel numbers are now declining, and the red are making a comeback. Why does that stop going around? I just noticed the Hogwarts Express had stopped. I think it probably needs a clean. Hi, John. How you doing? Good to see you here. Good afternoon. I hope you're well. So when I finish this stream today, I'm determined to stay out here in the shed and carry on and do some more work. Although my missus may come out and have different plans for me. I know there's a little bit of painting to be done inside. That's Hogwarts Express. It's very handy having that light on the front of it, because it's a great way of telling if my track's live or not. I just look at that, and if it's lit up, then I know the track's live. Oh yeah, nasty. Do you suffer from that, John? Because every so often whatever I do, I pull a muscle in my back, and then that's me. Can't really do anything for a few days. You know, I don't necessarily have to be doing anything energetic or lifting anything. I just feel my back. There's like a twang, and that's like, oh, there goes my back. I think I need to send my truck cleaner around. It's a bit dirty. It's from the dust from the making the mountainside there. Yeah, that's it exactly, John. You think, oh, I'm all right. Yeah, I'm okay. And then it goes, oh, no. It's that sort of pain that just takes your breath away. It happened to me a couple of weeks ago. I was just walking up the stairs, and all of a sudden my back went, and I couldn't go up the stairs, and I couldn't come down. I just had to stand there for 5 minutes. I'd say it's something for getting old, but it's happened to me for as long as I can remember. Yeah, two of my daughters have trouble with their knees, and it turns out they have flat feet or problems with the arches in their feet, so they wear supports in their feet and do have some exercises from the physio, and that seems to keep it under control. Yeah, they are very expensive, Pete. I want to get one of those. Is it the CMX ones, the brass ones? They look really, really good. Everyone's talks highly of them. I have one of the dapole cleaners, which we'll just say it's better than nothing. The good thing about the dapole one is the vacuum cleaner on it. I think the old Hogwarts Express needs a wheel clean. Yeah, It's just stopping everywhere now. Oh, you're on the Lewis at the moment, are you? Yeah, you say that there, John, about vitamins and that. Here in, because one of my daughters takes primrose oil that helps her skin. And for a while there, you couldn't get it anywhere, this side of the border or in Northern Ireland. And I noticed after, now whether it's down to supply issues with COVID or Brexit or mixtures of two, I noticed certain things in the shops were missing. You couldn't get them. It all disappeared off the shelves. But things seem to be getting back to normal now, because I notice a lot of stuff now is returning. So whether it was Brexit issues or just supply issues due to COVID. But building supplies seem to be in short supply at the moment, and the prices have gone up as well. So I suppose it's the old supply and demand. At least you can seem to get Pico track now. Or are people still having issues getting that? So those ones that clip on the axles, they're quite good, are they, Brian? I've never actually used them. They're just like a felt pad, aren't they, that just rubs along the track. Do you put any alcohol or anything on them, or just use them dry? I see your comment there about the Glendalough. Yeah, they should have a lot of little tourist trains all over the place. You know, there's the thing with the greenways now taking over a lot of the old lines. I can't see any reason why they can't have both, you know, a heritage line and a greenway. I've seen a lot of that in the UK when I lived in Bristol. The Bitton Railway or Avon Valley Railway, it had a walkway and cycleway running alongside it. Okay, John, have you scheduled that? So I'll put a link up for it. Oh, John, I'm not subscribed to you. Ooh, change that now. I thought I was. I'll put a link up to your channel. So there's a link to John's channel there. YouTube does that a lot. You think you're subscribed to someone, and then it's not until you go, you know, I haven't seen a video from so-and-so for long. I wonder if, and you go searching for them, you can find you've been unsubscribed. And I'm subbed to that many people, it's impossible to watch them all. Like there's always a few that you always watch, you know, when Everard puts up a video, you're just like, oh, and look at it and go, yeah, there's no way I could do that. It just takes so much time to watch all these YouTube, you know. Mind you, it was great during lockdown being able to watch it. You know, it inspired and gives you ideas, and you think, right, yeah, I'm going to do that. I'll try that. Play them at 2 times speed, you get through them. Yeah, his Granada is lovely. It's I quickly looked at that, Brian, and I thought it said Grandad, and I thought, whose Grandad is beautiful? Yeah, so they peaked on the same. Yeah, Everett has a fine eye for detail, and like some of the scratch building he's done, and the same with Dave at Dean Park. Like, I don't know how they find the time to spend that much time refining the detail and things. Yeah, I seen that comment, Brian. I thought, is he watching some other stream that we shouldn't know about? Looking at granddads. Commented on the wrong stream. Let's see who we got. Oh, Andy's put up his Spot the Class 47 competition results. I thought that was very tricky. Anybody who entered Andy's one, where he had the odd, was it 57 or whatever, which is similar to a 47 going through as well. Hi, Anthony. How you doing? How's things across the pond? Yeah, speaking of granddads, here comes Anthony. Yeah, I won that £10 voucher on Stuart's Valleybrooks the other night. So I'll have to go into Rails now and see what I can spend it on. Yeah, so that's my latest thing now with the missus. Where'd that come from? Oh, I won that in a competition. Oh, I won that on so stream. Yeah, I seen you on there, Brian. You won Fiverr, and who was it who got the cup? Yeah, I see you've been doing a bit of work, Anthony, outside. Is it moving a tree root or something you've been digging out? Or was that someone completely different? Oh, I see someone posted that Jenny, she was working on this secret TV thing, and someone posted up, wonder if this is what Jenny's been working on. Hornby are bringing out a series on the Yesterday channel. Put John's channel in again. Anybody who's joined us, he's going on at 2. Yeah, I dropped a load of trees here last summer. A load of big ash trees. Cut them all up, and it kept us warm over the winter. It is nice, isn't it, Christopher? I picked that up in Worley 2019, the last time Worley was on. I forget which stand I bought it on, but it was reduced from 150 to 80, I think. Stuck a chip in it, and away it goes. And the 56 is going around the sort of the grey rail freight one. I got that for my birthday last year. That was from Curno. They had that on a special price. And then the other one, the DCR, Somerset Andy got one of them. And he got just for 100 quid as well. So when I heard about that, I snapped one up as well. And like the 56s, they're quite well detailed, and it's got sprung buffers, which everyone seems to love, but also the doors are open, which it's a great thing to have, but I can't see the point of it. It's got lights on it as well. I do have a few sign chips in some of my locos, like I got the TTS Flying Scotsman, I've got a TTS 47, and I've got a Bachmann 37. I just find it gets too noisy when they're all running. Yeah, I can't wait to get back to Worley. I hope it runs this year. I'll be definitely going if I can, if I'm allowed to travel, because we don't know how the whole thing's going to work out with this vaccine passport. Are you going to need it, or what the story is? Because although the Irish government have said they'll have the first vaccine out to everyone by the summer, I very much doubt it. Yeah, I've seen that one, Brian. Yeah. Yeah, it's getting there, Anthony. I haven't done much over the past week or two, just with taking time off to spend time with the family and enjoying the Easter break. And we had some nice weather here last week. We had a couple of barbecues, real t-shirt weather. And then on Monday, it was snowing. I woke up to about 3 inches of snow on the ground. Quickly disappeared, though. But as I was saying, this is going to be my last week of lives now. I'll finish up on Friday because, things are starting to open up a bit more here. I've got a lot more work to do, so I won't have time to do them. But I will probably do a live stream once a week, Thursday evenings, around 7:30 in the evening for an hour before Tim comes on. Or has he changed his days again? Oh, you like the tour? Thanks, Anthony. Yeah, a lot of people seem to like that. It seemed to went down really well. I don't know why it was a bit nerve-wracking. I had my notes as backup, and I ended up sort of reading them because my brain just refused to work. I went, no, I'm not. No, you know all this history and these dates, but no. Yeah, really looking forward to getting the museum open again, showing it off to people, getting the work completed, and getting Drumbo hopefully home now in the autumn. So there will be hopefully future live streams live from there, especially with Drumbo being loaded up in Whitehead and the journey back to Donegal. And when we have the official opening, all the Irish users in here will know nationwide they're going to come up and report on it. So I'll be on Irish national TV. So it'll be a big event for Donegal town. It's a big tourist pull, and if we can get our 7.25-inch gauge track down, we haven't got enough room to make a complete loop, but we're making sort of an 80-meter run so that kids can have a ride up and down. So it should all hopefully it'll all work out. A lot of work now to do over the summer. A lot of things to get done, catch up on. So the model railway might take a bit of a back seat because I'm going to have a lot of work to do. But at the same time, this is my chill out room, my thinking time to come out here and just mess around with a few little things, mull things over in the back of my head while I'm doing it. I always like to keep a sort of a notepad and pen around, so when you think of something, you write it down. Anyway, look at the time. Right, I'm going to say goodbye there, guys. So I'll catch you tomorrow, 12:30 again. Enjoy the rest of your afternoons or mornings or nights or whatever, wherever you are in the world. Stay safe, everyone, and I'll catch you tomorrow. Bye for now.